update of External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar saying that relations between India and China have seen progress since October 2024, with both nations actively working to address various aspects of their bilateral ties that have been impacted by past tensions. S. Jaishankar highlighting both countries are attempting to reverse some of the damage that were caused by actions taken in 2020 and rebuild their diplomatic relationship. He also pointed out that despite historical challenges, there has been progress in managing their ties over the years.
I think a lot of other people have been saying it for 50 years.
But we have to then discuss India-China.
Sure.
As you said, it's a difficult one. There was a military clash that's now been managed. You said it was de-escalation going into disengagement. The last time you spoke, I heard you spoke on this.
The other way around.
Okay. So how do you see this key bilateral relations unfolding under this geopolitical context of churn? And how does India exercise its tremendous agency to lead in a way that, you know, strengthens the peace and dynamics for peace and co-prosperity in Asia and the world?
Mm-hmm. We had a war with China in '62. It took us 14 years after that to send back an ambassador. It took us 12 more years for a Prime Minister of India to visit that country.
Mm-hmm.
And from 1988, there was a certain understanding between India and China on the basis of which the relationship was rebuilt. Okay. We obviously couldn't solve the problems, most of all the boundary issue, but we built a relationship with managed it. There were dialogues and negotiations going on while other parts of the relationship grew. Mm-hmm. Okay, the economic relationship grew. Mm-hmm. You know, there were more exchanges. People went up. You know, the rest, and even on the boundary. In fact, we had a series of agreements which laid out in great detail protocols on how to manage the boundary, how to deploy, how to ensure that something accidental doesn't happen. All the while, you know, negotiations were going on to find a solution to the boundary issue. Now, from then, let us, if we use 1988 as a starting point, till 2020, while we had incidents along in the boundary, in the border areas, we had not actually had bloodshed. The last bloodshed was 45 years before 2020. Okay, so what happened in 2020 was actually very traumatic for the relationship. It wasn't just the bloodshed, it was the disregard of written agreements. Because this isn't a gray area we are talking about. I mean, the departure from the terms of what was agreed to was very sharp and very substantial. Now, through this period, I mean, obviously it took us, I mean, we're still dealing with some parts of this, so it's not like the issue has completely gone away. We felt that, I mean, obviously it called for a military response on India's side, which happened. There was a counter-deployment by us. But we also felt that the way forward was to find a negotiated outcome, and that's what we've been trying to do since 2020. Now, the answer to your question is, we don't think this period serves the interests of either India or China. You know, how do we benefit by having a very tense relationship with that a large
Well, Rishabh is with us on the phone line. Rishabh, quite significant of what the External Affairs Minister has been saying by highlighting that both countries, India and China, are attempting to reverse some of the damage that has been caused by actions that were taken in 2020 and before that, and are now moving forward when it comes to rebuilding their diplomatic relationship.
Well, Amita, we have definitely come a long way from where we were 1 year ago, and the same person who have been repeatedly saying that India-China relationship is abnormal has started talking positive about India-China relationship. I'm talking about External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar. This showcases that yes, there has been a thaw since the Kazan episode where Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Chinese President Xi Jinping, and both the leaders decided to take a positive turn from there. Since then, we have had senior special representative level talks where NS Ajit Doval visited Beijing. We have seen External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar meeting his counterpart at least at 3 occasions. Defense Minister met Chinese Defense Minister on the sidelines of ASEAN plus Defense Minister Summit. And